All right, here we go, guys. Episode 3 of Gridlock. Today, I got a pretty special guest with me today. 2011 World Series champ. We gotta get this going the right way. Welcome to the show, Edwin. How you doing today, man?
What's good, my dog? How you been, man?
All right, man. Chilling.
Always good to see you, man.
All right, man. It's been a while since we actually got a chance to, sit down and talk for a minute.
For real. We had the city lit though.
Right.
Good time since the last time I talked to you, man.
Yeah. So let's get it going, man. So talk about your path to the majors. Like, did you take a year off from high school, or did you just go right into the minors?
Man, me, I was a different case than a lot of people. I wasn't like a high draft pick. I had verbally committed to Alabama A&M until UAB came in at the very end of my high school career, and so I ended up committing to UAB. Would have been a bigger school than Alabama A&M. Then I ended up getting a call from the Dodgers. You know what I'm saying? That I've been selected in the 6th round to become a Dodger. So the actual school part was my main mission. You know. Because I wasn't a heavily scouted player. I got scouted because of a couple of my homeboys on the team, Nick Long and Steven Register. They was getting scouted by all the scouts. So it's a blessing for them because then I was able to, let myself shine in the process. But I had no idea I was getting drafted. I was just trying to play to get to school, to help my parents financially with college and everything, and get an education.
Right.
And then get selected 6th round, and then I went to rookie ball. That following high school, I waited about a week or two, trying to make my decision and see what I want to do. All my pros and cons on both ends, though.
Right. Okay, so let me see what we got here. You coming up, were you always a pitcher, and then who was your role model as a player growing up?
I got drafted as an outfielder.
Okay.
So I mean, all my accolades came from being in center field. I pitched a little bit in high school. I maybe had like 15 to 20 innings or so. So I did pitch a little bit. It just wasn't my primary position. When I first started with the Dodgers, I got the rookie ball, kind of doing both. I was kind of doing the old Tony, but just not on that level.
Right.
I was hitting. I'd be there all day with the hitters. I go extra hitting, and then I was with the pitchers as well. And I'm doing all the extra work that the pitchers doing. And then after my first year, Joe Vavra and myself, we sat down and had a talk, and he's like, man, the hitting coaches want you to be a hitter. The pitching coaches want you to pitch. It's like, quite honestly, I believe pitchers make it quicker to the league. And I was just kind of like, whatever y'all want me to do. And I came the following year to spring training, not knowing what kind of equipment to have, not knowing if I needed shoes for pitching toes or if I needed bats, whatever it may be, because they didn't really give me a heads up which way they were leaning towards, whether I was going to be a position player or a pitcher coming in the camp. So I just had to look on the list, man. I had to look on the list of roster and see what my name was. And I looked up, I was like, oh, okay, I guess they want me to pitch. And that was 2002. That was 2002 after I got drafted in 2001. So then I come up in 2002, and I go from spring training to I skipped one of the rookie balls and went to the next rookie ball, and then I end up having player of the year. I had pitcher of the year that year after missing about a month of the season. And the level I was in, I had the Dodgers organizational pitcher of the year. So I had to make some ground, man. I came out hot when I did come out pitching though. And then I fast forward the following year, 2003, I go into spring training and I get sent to AA. So I skipped another level. So I was on the fast track. And I didn't really know what I was doing, man. I was just pitching. I was just going out and competing. I wasn't like a true pitcher. I was a conversion player. So I was just out there, I had raw talent. I was just out there having fun.
Right.
And trying to see what I could do on the mound. Then come 2003 after the season, and then that's when I get the calls like, hey, if we may have a situation where we may need you to come up. And I was at home already at the time too, so I was already at the crib because the season was over.
Right.
And so I ended up going with the pitcher coordinator in Oklahoma. Dallas Perez ended up not being able to pitch, and then I came up. I met the team in Denver and got activated the next game in Arizona on my birthday. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like a story written process. You know what I'm saying? You make your major league debut on your birthday, having your family in attendance, pitching against Brandon Johnson. It was all like a storybook.
Right. I mean, that was literally my next question. How was it like, debuting on your 20th birthday?
Man, it's crazy, man. It's surreal. It ain't nothing that you can script up. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely something that was just in the books, in the makings. That was the hand I was dealt, and I was just trying to take advantage of it. Everything had happened so fast that I didn't really have time to be nervous because I was in a tornado. I was in the mix.
Right.
You know, I'm still trying to figure out what's going on. And by the time I look up, it was about the third game. I was like, damn, I'm in the league.
Right.
You know, that's kind of when it sank in.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds like a lot of quick change, right away. That'd be crazy to even think about. So, like, for you, most exciting, or what was more exciting, your 2010 no hitter, or winning the World Series in 11?
Man, I feel like they both exciting. They're just on different reasons. I feel like one is more personal. One is more personal accomplishment with the no hitter. You know, obviously it's a team. It's a team combination of play to make that happen. So it's definitely a lot of team play in that. But on a personal note, it's something that I went out there and I completed. You know, due to the circumstances, 8 walks. You know, it's an unorthodox no hitter. It ain't no hitter where everything is going right for you.
Right.
It was kind of just the opposite where everything was going wrong. But I turned all the wrongs into a right with the help of the team. And then the no hit, and then the World Series, that's what we play for. Right. You know, that's what everybody play this game for, to be the last man standing on the field. Being out there saying you're a world champion. A lot of people don't get to experience that. A lot of people don't even get to experience going to playoffs. So to have an opportunity to win a World Series and have that hardware after I've already been there and lost it, you know, in 2008 with Tampa Bay, man, it was like a full circle moment. You know, I've been able to be on both ends of the spectrum, and I'm just blessed to be able to say, you know, I've been to a World Series twice, even though I lost one and won one. Just to have that experience 2 times in my career, it's a blessing.
Yeah, a lot of people don't even get close to the World Series, So, yeah. So
not even close.
Yeah. So in 11, when you guys won, what about that team made it like special? Where you guys kind of like felt you can win it, or was it like maybe you guys got to the playoffs and just was like, we got a chance, or was it like an all year type of thing, where it's like, oh yeah, we got this?
Man, when I got traded over there, to St. Louis from Chicago.
Oh, okay.
So I came after All-Star break, and I feel like it was about 4 or 5 of us that got traded over there to the team. So and just trying to make a push, because come September, numerically, we weren't even supposed to be in the playoffs.
Right.
As the Braves had the division locked, and we had a meeting, and we was like, listen here, man, let's just try to win every series, 2 out of 3.
Right.
4-game series, worst case we push. And we kind of took that approach, and it's almost like a 1 game at a time approach, man. Mm-hmm. It felt like everybody got hot at the same time. Everybody got hot at the right time. And Atlanta kept losing, and we kept winning. Atlanta kept losing, and we kept winning. And, you know, we kept playing, and we kept playing, and we kept playing. And our last game was in, I want to say Houston was the last game, and we ended up winning that game. And we had to sit in the clubhouse and watch to see if Atlanta losing out and to see if we make it in. And they end up losing the game and we made it in. And we were the team that just got hot at the right time. I mean, everybody was hot. Pujols was hot. Freeze was hot. Berkman was hot. We had young John Jay out in center field. He was doing his thing. I feel like everybody that we brought to the team was doing that part, and we just caught fire at the right time. And we went through the playoffs being the hottest team. And that's kind of what playoff is about. Baseball playoffs is about. It's not necessarily about the best team. It's just about who get hot at the right time and who playing at the right time. And that was us at the time.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I guess you can say that about, a lot of sports. I mean, look at the Mavs right now. They were the 5th seed coming into the playoffs. It got hot, Yeah, a couple injuries here and there helped out, but they got hot at the right time. So, yeah it's about that.
It ain't looking good for him.
Yeah, well, we
looking good for him, man. Oof.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a Hawks fan, so I know my team is out of it. But
my Warriors.
Dallas got some work to do.
Yeah, they ain't gonna look good. All right, so out of the 14 teams that you played with, what was like your favorite city or favorite team, and what was like one of your least favorite teams?
Man, I get that question a lot. That's a good question, man. I'm gonna start off by saying that I enjoyed all my moments with every team that I was on. Whether my play was good or bad, it was something positive that I could take from every team that I played on. Just being able to put that jersey on. I would say when I answer this question is for a specific reason, because like you said, I've been on World Series winning teams. I've been on playoff teams. I've been on a lot of different teams, but my most fun that I've had probably on a team was when I got traded from LA to Tampa Bay. And the reason I said that is because I had just been the youngest in the league for a couple years. I was the youngest on my team by 5 or 6 years. I was the youngest on my team. And when I went to Tampa Bay, it was the total opposite. It was a young team, average age 25, highest paid player on the team at the time was Carl Crawford. So I felt like I was around some boys my age, and that's where I got to really grow as a pitcher. You know what I'm saying? Grow into my own and be around somebody my age. And it felt like we had like a college professional team, man.
Right.
Just because of the young team we had. We went from losing 100 games to going to the playoffs in 2008. You know what I'm saying? Being in American League East at the time, which was the probably the toughest division in the league, was the AL East at that time. And for us as that young team to go ahead and make it through the AL East and make our way to the playoffs, then make our way to the World Series.
Right.
It was almost like a Cinderella story in the making.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I definitely get that. Do you have like a least favorite, or just kind of like that was just your most fun?
You know what? I don't really have a least favorite team, man. I got some teams that I was only there for a few days, so it's hard to kind of say if they're my least favorite.
Right.
But I knew somebody on every team.
Right.
I'd played with everybody. I'd been around everybody, so it wasn't a team that I had been on where I didn't know somebody or I didn't have somebody that I could kick it with.
Right. So when you go to different teams and things like that, like how was it for you adjusting and adapting to like maybe their culture, their style? I mean, you're pretty laid back or whatever, from what I saw, but adapting to each team and like the dynamics between like, demographics, I don't know, like how did you adjust to each team?
A day at a time. Being a military brat, I'm kind of used to moving around a little bit. I didn't kind of got acclimated to having to change sceneries and then make friends. I'm a people's person. It ain't hard to get along with me. Like you say, I can not like somebody and I can still deal with them. So that part of it don't really bother me as far as socialization. I think the biggest thing is just getting acclimated to a system.
Right.
A lot of different coaches. You got different. You got different coaching strategies. You got different the ways that teams operate. So it's just a matter of kind of sitting back and just peeping and watching and seeing how everything is ran And then once you see how everything is ran, now you can make your adjustments accordingly. Don't go in there trying to act like you the
top dog.
You got to be a superhero or a Captain America. You know what I'm saying? Just go in there and play your part. Do what you do. You ain't got to change who you are, but you ain't got to overdo it as well. I think a lot of people, they get messed up because they feel like they got to come in somewhere and be somebody that they don't have to be. When really you just got to go be yourself. When you go be yourself, everything else going to fall in line the way it's supposed to.
Yeah, it makes sense. So, like, what coach on which team kind of you learned the most from?
I would say my coach was Kenny Howell, man. Rest in peace, Kenny. Kenny was one of my favorite coaches, man. I got a few coaches on that list though that I've come across. I definitely come across some good coaches that's been valuable to my career. But Kenny had me as a youngster, so Kenny kind of instilled something in me. To the fact that even when I got sent down with the Dodgers, they would send me down from the big leagues to Double A just to work with Kenny. Yeah. That's how impactful he was to my career. He knew how to get to me too, but I mean, I've come across some dope coaches, man. I done came across a lot of cool coaches, a lot of cool managers. Even Bo Mel in Oakland. Bo Mel was a cool manager, man. Dusty was a cool manager. Jim Leland. I done come across a lot of cool managers, a lot of cool coaches, and then I've come across some that may have not been the best for me too, because I'm trying to take in too much and do too much. But that's the part is growing up as a player, you have to learn how to, especially a player like me that's been on so many teams, you got to kind of learn how to decipher which information is good for you and which is not.
Right. Yeah, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So I talked to a good amount of athletes, especially visitors coming in. I like have my little conversations with them. But like for you, what was your favorite city to play in, whether as the home team or a visitor?
Man, I'm gonna be biased to Atlanta because I'm from Georgia. I love coming home, man. I'm from Columbus, Georgia's about an hour and a half from Atlanta. So anytime we come to the A, man, it feel like I'm back at home. You know what I'm saying? I had a house. I can stay at my house in Atlanta. Family up, get some home cooked meals. But aside from that, just because I'm biased to Atlanta, man, Chicago was a good city to play in. LA was a good city. Just me being in LA. I came up in LA when Barry Bonds and Gagne was facing each other too. So the Dodgers and San Fran rivalry was real. I'm not saying that it's real now, but
it's even worse now.
Back then, it felt like it was a little like it was real personal. Yeah. Really personal. I mean, man, there's a lot of dope cities we play in, though, man. There's some cities you wouldn't think they were cool. This cool. You think people hear Minnesota, they think Minnesota is a terrible city, but Minnesota's dope, man. Many dope. I had fun in Oakland. I mean, I know a lot of people didn't like Oakland, but I had fun in Oakland. Me personally, I had fun. I felt like it was a vibe. I felt comfortable. Like I wasn't nervous. I mean, it's like anywhere, your areas when you go and don't go.
Right.
That's everywhere. Shit, that's everywhere.
Yeah, but, it don't matter.
Yeah, but I felt good at Oakland, and the stats showed it. Like it was a good team. It was comfortable. I was ready to come back.
Yeah, I didn't really put this down the list, but you bring up Oakland, that's my home, of course, but the locker rooms, like I didn't really, talk about that beforehand. The locker room, I know me personally, I've been inside that locker room a million times. How was it for the locker rooms for you, like at home? Well, not at home for you, but in Oakland compared to like other like stadiums. I just wanted to know that one.
Man, the locker is just a small locker room, but small can be good at the same time because small can keep the team together. It's really just the atmosphere in there, man. Like you said, we had a music bumping. We're gonna have a vibe in there, and we're gonna have it ready to go. And that's probably something I did everywhere. I feel like everywhere I went, they kind of had. I just gravitated towards the music, or they end up being like, all right, go ahead and run the music, DJ. if you winning and you got a little playlist, and you got to know how to differentiate it too and mix it up a little bit. Or the starting pitcher that they may want to put his music on at a certain time, so you go with the starting pitcher. Like, hey man, if it's something you want to hear, let me know. If not, okay, I'm gonna throw a little something on. But I feel like the club set the vibe for the day, man. I never want to walk into a quiet clubhouse.
Right.
Like, man, listen, we at the field, man. Turn the damn music on.
Right.
And let's get the energy going, man. Like, it's time to wake up.
Right.
You know? So
right.
that's always been my little locker room vibe. But Oakland, we had to jump into there, man. We had a nice little vibe in the locker room.
Yeah, so that kind of leads into my next question. Like, what was your like pregame rituals when you knew you were starting?
At home, it's the only day I really dress up. Like, I don't know if y'all really pay attention. Every other day, I'm kind of just dressed down. But the start day is the day I kind of dress up like it's my day.
Yeah.
You know, get up, eat a breakfast, because I don't really eat too much that day. My body don't want food.
Right.
Food is the last thing on my mind, so I know I got to get up and get a big breakfast, because during the day, I'm just snacking on a little banana or a bar or something.
Yeah.
So get up, enjoy the family, man. I try to keep it a normal day as much as I can, all the way up until about an hour before the game. And then I just try to lock it in. But because I don't like to be too uptight in a bubble all day and not talking to my teammates.
Right.
I'm like, nah, some people that's what works for them. But for me, I like to stay loose. I want to have my energy contagious and infectious through the team. So I'm talking to people, I'm hollering at people, get to the field I chill with the family at home, eat some breakfast. I get to the field about for a 7 o'clock game. Probably get to the field about 3:34. Get to the field. The music ain't on. It should already be on. Some music ain't on. Somebody getting cussed out. Like,
right.
Hey, the music playing. But no, get in, go get my little report, get the lineup, see who in the game. Maybe go do some video, walk around a little bit, go to the weight room. And then about an hour before, I'll start my process. Then, okay, all right, I'm getting in the hot tub. I got my playlist for the hot tub. I'm going to get stretched. I'm getting my game. I got my headphones on now, so I ain't really as talkative. If somebody come through, I still talk, but I kind of got a little quieter now.
Right.
And trying to hone in and get ready to go. You know what I'm saying? Get focused a little bit more and kind of get more intense. And then by the time I hit the field, I'm ready to go.
Right. Okay. So they always say major league pitching is like the hardest, obviously, to hit. So like for you, was there like a specific batter that you might have known coming up that you know, like, oh damn, this is gonna be a real challenge?
Barry Bonds. Facing Barry Bonds and watching him knock everybody shit into the cold.
Yeah.
I mean, that's Barry, man. Like when people ask me all the time, like, man, who's the toughest hitter you done faced? It's Barry Bonds. He's the best hitter, the greatest hitter all time. You know what I'm saying? And I faced him as a kid.
Yeah.
You know, and I walked him 1AB, I hit him 1AB, and I struck him out 1AB. And I just remember him tipping his hat to me. And I'm like, damn, did he swing through that ball on purpose? Because he didn't miss balls, and it was right down the middle.
Right.
But I think he just tipped his hat because I challenged him. Like, it was at a time where everybody was walking him. The time I walked him, the team called a walk, but I was coming at him.
Yeah.
I was a youngster. I didn't know no better. I was just coming at him.
Yeah.
Like, and I think he respected that.
Right. Yeah, so you talked about pregame. So what about like your off the field activities? Like what do you do to kind of relax and stay like kind of focused on the game, you know, or just be able to be relaxed and not be too, you know, wound up?
Man, I think for me, just enjoying time with the family, man. Anytime I can kick it with the kids and enjoy the family, whether it's go to the mall, walk around. We was in Emeryville, whether it's walk around Emeryville. Went to the little Pixar studio, so any little family time that I can get in with the little ones, that's relaxation for me. It's away from the chaos. It's my own clan. You know, I ain't got to worry about where I got to be. So I'm a real family man. So I enjoy that time with the kids. So anywhere we can take them, man, we was trying to take them. We know it's a new city.
Everywhere,
Just trying to let them see the city as much as we can. that used to be my relaxation time. I mean, especially I was in Emeryville, so we weren't going too many places. We go to the movies, go here, go there. Like I say, I was in the city, but I didn't want to get out too much. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
End up in the wrong area. Like, oh, okay, this ain't where I need to be. Trying to venture around.
Anywhere near the Coliseum, you don't need to be around there.
Nah. I mean, I would go to Lena's. So I go to the
Lena's,
hills.
Foothill. Yeah.
So I was going to the hills. I was going to get that Lena's. Now,
that was got to.
It wasn't gonna stop me. Now I'm going to Lena's. I feel like everywhere I go, though. I mean, like you said, it's baseball. Right. We ain't going. You ain't got a whole bunch of jewelry, man. You ain't got to. Like I tell people, you ain't got to be scared of nowhere. But you just got to be cognizant. Right. Don't get out there knucking and bucking at the same time. You ain't got to be scary, but just be aware where you at.
That's that real A that just came out.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. You ain't got to be scared, bro. Like, I mean, you might be in a little rough area, but that don't mean shit just gonna pop off because you automatically in a rough area. Like, go on, get your food, go on about your business, and get on.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And baseball players, you guys are very recognizable. But it's not like the NBA where like they're really putting your faces all over the place. So, there's a couple guys I used to joke with, I seen them come off the BART. I was like, what you doing on the BART? And they're like, ain't nobody gonna recognize me. And I was like, well, that's true. They don't have you don't have your uniform on unless you're like marquee player, star player. Like most people not even gonna recognize who you are. So
you ain't gonna be able to be no Mookie Betts Judge walking through there. Like they just but for everybody else, man, like you say, you walk in that Lena's, nobody really know who you is until you start talking to the workers because you call it big old orders. You like, hey, man, I'm coming to pick it up.
Right.
Like, I'm calling this whoop-de-whoop. I'm with so-and-so. So you had to name drop a little bit because they're like, bro, we can't place this big order. You get all this food, don't come get it. So, and everybody from the team had me picking up their food. Nobody wanted to go, but they had me going to get, so I was bringing plates to the field, man.
Yeah, I mean, shoot. I mean, what was that, 2018 when you got there? I mean, there was only about so many black folk on that team anyway.
Yeah, but everybody want that soul food.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Everybody want that chicken. But,
yeah.
It was a good time though, man. That's what I said. I enjoyed Oakland, man. I had a good time in Oakland. I was trying to come back.
Yeah, shit. We wanted you back. Yeah. So, 18 you got there. City of Oakland is a beautiful city. A lot of people don't get a chance to like really see what Oakland's really about in the history. So like, what is like maybe your most memorable about Oakland? Not necessarily on the field, but like the city, like getting around in the city, like.
Man, I feel Oakland is its own city. It's its own style. It differentiates from everybody. I call it the South of the West. You know what I'm saying? Being from Georgia, Oakland's the South of the West. It's like, you feel like it's a South vibe. Seeing some black people, you got your Mexicans, you got your blacks. It's real diverse. You get some lumpia, you know what I'm saying. But everybody's still Oakland. It didn't matter what color you was. You got your little Oakland feel to you. You know what I'm saying. And that's why when I came out to the music, I probably should have came out with something else, but I was like, man, in Oakland, you got to come out to something from the city. You got to come out to some music that the people gonna feel and recognize, and let them captivate the vibe with you. Let them rock with you while you're on the mound. I mean, when you're on the home team, you warming up, you want to look around the stands and you want to see people in the crowd vibing. Right. You know what I'm saying? I want to see my teammates vibing. So that's why I say I came out to the boy, little Pilo. Pilo 40 and just some Oakland, man. And I remember Sean Brown's crew, he's like, bro, you're the only person that came out to something from Oakland. Right. And I'm like, what? And I'm like, that's a must. Yeah. Like if you in the Oakland, you gotta have something from the Bay.
I mean, the closest thing we had was KD when he came out with Pac. That was about the closest thing that anybody ever came out with.
But man, you got so many artists.
You do.
Bay, this like Bay music, you know what I'm saying? When people even, you know what I'm saying, Mac Dre, anything. You got Mac Dre, you got Heat, you got any kind of music, but like you said, when it's Bay music, it's recognizable instantly. And that's why I'm like, man, I'm coming out to something from the Bay. Yeah. And I know Pilo and them had just dropped that, that track. So I was like, it got 40 in it too. So I thought, all right, I'm gonna come out to this. Right. Yeah. Crowd was definitely vibing with that. So we talk about your 100th win. I'll tell you my little story about that first before we get into like how it was for you. So like me on the security side as a supervisor,
there's like we can't control what goes on in the field whatsoever. But like we had our own little rituals, like the starting pitcher, we'll fist bump everybody but the starting pitcher on those particular days. So it was like we just our little superstition, we don't touch the starting pitcher. Like whoever we can say what's up.
Just the opposite.
Yeah.
I'm coming to you. What's up?
Right. You was way different. So like that particular day, I remember I was coming out on the field. I was in front of the dugout, and it was like maybe the 7th inning, and we were up a lot. And I was remember thinking, I was just like, damn, like this is about to be the 100th win right here. And me personally, I tried not to like really interact with too many of the players too many times, especially like during the game or whatever. But I just remember like scanning the field, scanning the crowd, and I looked into the dugout, and like you just kind of did like one of these numbers and looked at me. I was just like, okay, that's what's up. Like it just reassured like it was good, but I tried not to talk to like any of the players during the game. And I know we had our own little conversations a lot of times, like when you weren't pitching off the side of the dugout or whatever, but just days that you were pitching, we tried not to like interact, or I did anyways. I tried not to interact, anything like that. So the 100th game was definitely one of those things like nobody say nothing, just kind of like, we know the excitement, what could happen today, but just kind of like everybody need to chill on everything. So let me try. What I'm saying, we didn't know necessarily. What we heard was you guys were traveling with that the big ass Ace of Spades because you had a couple different attempts at it on the road, but it didn't come through, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So wife had a surprise for me. I didn't know about it.
Okay. So yeah, that's what we heard. I think Boost told me. I can't remember who exactly told me, but like you guys been traveling with that for a while. So like talk about like the 100th victory in Oakland, like how that came about and like the after effects, I guess, of that game.
Man, that's why I say it's funny you say that because I never knew y'all didn't try to talk to nobody. I'm coming in. And that's my routine is to talk to everybody. I'm coming there and talk. So we got different routines. It's like, ooh, I don't know, but I talk to everybody. What's good, big dog? How you living? Yeah. But that 100th win, man, I see how people feel when they going, like when CeCe's going for his little 3,000 K. I'm like, bro, this how people feel when they trying to get that last one. Yeah. And I took 4 shots at it. It was like, because I remember a wife, she's like, bro, we traveling, and I didn't know this till afterwards. She's like, we traveling with this big ass bottle of shit, hide it from you. They loading it on the plane. Yeah. But I think to finally get it done, and the fact that, we was able to do it the way it happened, with everybody right at home with the family there. That was dope. Like I tell people, that's probably one of my most memorable moments in baseball. The no-hitter is dope. The World Series is dope. But to have my family in totality at a game and able to witness something, witness an achievement, and I get to share that achievement with them, that's one that just sit close to the heart because it's the family, the kids on the field. And that's the last picture that I'm gonna have with an accolade with the family on the field. Celebrate something and appreciate my wife Erica for getting that bottle and traveling around with the kids every damn city. Yeah. Try to witness that 100th win. And like I said, I've been blessed, man. I was blessed to get it out the way. I wasn't really thinking about it. I know we had a couple close games where I'm like, ooh, this might be it. Nah, this ain't it. Right. But I figured it happened at some point. But appreciate all the staff and everybody that was hauling that big ass box around, man. I appreciate y'all for that.
Yeah. That was definitely I don't know. Like I said, we have our own little routines or whatever, because that's one of the things as a supervisor for me, is security. We preach that all the time. Like, we can't control what's on the field, but we can control what we do, and certain things we can control as far as like our jobs, but there's nothing we can do about the field. So we just do what we can do. And, I don't know, for me, it was just a superstition. Like, don't talk to none of the players, especially like first home runs or, just all the milestones because we had to get briefed on that, especially if we had to go get the ball or whatever. We had to get briefed on all those things. 100 win for you. You know, it was just a bunch of things that, you know, we were prepared for literally anything. And, you know, that doesn't just go with, you know, what's happening on the field with the players, but with the crowd as well, too, because they may try to do something stupid. And we've all seen jumpers and things like that. So it was definitely something that we were on. It was like, I mean, we had a big briefing that I think it was a night game. Yeah, we had a big briefing. Like, nah, there's certain shit that's about to happen. If it happens, we got to be prepared for literally anything.
Yeah.
Not saying it's gonna happen, but if it does, we got to be prepared to, you know, react to whatever's going on. All right, so fast forward a couple years from there. So you finally decided to retire. What was like your determining factors for your retirement? Was it just age, mental, family? Like,
I think it was just time, man. Like, I don't know if it was one particular thing that made me retire, because I feel like when I retired, I still probably had like 3 years in my body physically. I think it was just a compilation of things, man. My kids getting older. I think another big thing that was a COVID year. Like, I had stayed home that year. And kids that got used to me being home, they didn't got acclimated. Now it's almost like, okay, now I feel like a real family at home type deal. And I think that played a big contributing factor to me retiring. I went to spring training with the D-backs in that COVID year. So when COVID hit, I went home. I had a chance to go back. I got DFA'd during COVID, which didn't make sense. But I was like, all right, they DFA'd me during COVID. We're not even playing. Still a couple weeks of spring training left whenever the season starts. So I got DFA'd. Dusty called me back to come play in Houston. I was like, man, Dusty, my wife nervous. There's a lot going on. I said, man, I'm gonna have to make an executive decision. I'm gonna put my family first, and just stay home with them and chill. And that kind of what did it right there. When the kids got used to me being home, it's like, all right, I'm gonna just stay home. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna talk to the wife, and she was like, you know what, you didn't play the game for a long time. You didn't have to deal with a lot of bullshit in baseball. You didn't have the good, you didn't have the bad. You didn't have to put up with shit you shouldn't have to put up. Like, does you just want to chill? And I'm like, kind of, but kind of not. You know what I'm saying? Because in me, knowing that I can still play, it's hard to just sit down. And so we thought about it for a little bit, and I was like, you know what? I'm about to chill. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go ahead and retire. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna enjoy the family, man. And it ended up being a great decision, man. It wasn't nothing that I regretted doing. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have the post-retirement regrets. Like, damn, why did I do this? None of that. I enjoyed the family. Like, so when I got them kids around me every day, even the days they getting on my nerves, I'm blessed. I'm blessed to have some healthy, beautiful kids getting on my nerves. You know what I'm saying? So taking the good with the bad and still enjoying it all at the end of the day.
No, I hear that. You know, COVID for me, that's the year prior to that. So 19 is when I switched over to MLB Network on the media side, you know, doing that coverage. So I still work security, but a lot less these days. I'm doing way more with the media side on the MLB Network. So those are things that I'm COVID definitely changed that as well too. It was a whole different, you know, approach to everything. So I get that, because security for me, I was just like, I'm pretty much done with this. You know, some things happened in that organization with the A's, you know, we don't got to talk about, but it was a lot of things that was going on at the time. So, you know, after your retirement, the Players Alliance kind of came about. Like, how did that get formed? Like, what were some of the things that led to the Players Alliance coming?
That all happened that COVID year too. All that was formed about 4 years ago when COVID hit. Obviously, the George Floyd incident had just happened, and I would say we formed from the George Floyd incident, but our basis for what we are doing didn't start from George Floyd. George Floyd got the group kicked off, like the conversation going. This was something that was probably in the works that needed to be done. And D. Gordon and Cam Maybin hit me. They was like, "Big bro, we need a we need a group chat where everybody can talk, so we can talk about what's going on, whether it's from George Floyd, whether it's what we gonna do. And actually, I'll take that back because we put it together after George Floyd. We put it together for the COVID too. Nobody knew what was going on for COVID. Everybody was trying to figure out what was going to do because of the game. It could have been we didn't even play that season, so it's a lot of people concerned about that. So we put the group and me playing with everybody. It's like you got all the contacts, get all the groups. So I started a group chain, and we was kind of talking about what everybody gonna do during COVID, if people gonna play, if people not gonna play, if people gonna get a shot, if they make us get a shot, if they not gonna get a shot, anything you can go. Did the George Floyd incident take place too? Now everybody in there talking, and it really was the first time that we probably had a safe space where everybody could talk without being judged and without being blackballed. And that was a big part of it too. And just letting the world know that, you know what I'm saying, baseball, we see what's going on. I feel like we the sport that if we talk as a black man on social media about something that's going on in the world, we get backlash for it. We get blackballed for it in the game, being a minority. And this was the opportunity that we had to use our voices, you know what I'm saying, and let the world know that we know what's going on. We know what's going on in the world. We know what's going on around the communities. We don't approve of it. And then, obviously, we was together too to help make a change in the game, seeing the numbers drastically dropping from the amount of black players in the game. And it's almost like a FUBU mentality, like an organization for us, by us, with anybody who to put a jersey on in the game of baseball professionally. I mean, so we talking from independent to Hall of Fame. You know, our organization is made up of anybody who to put on a uniform. It's player driven. All our ideas come from players that come from within the organization, which is something special too, because I know you look at the board, which is Curtis, the president, CC, the vice president, myself as the secretary. We don't make all the decisions. You know what I'm saying? We are the last ones to say yay, nay on the decisions, but all the decisions are made within the organization from various people. And like I said, the level of play doesn't really matter, because if you got a good idea, you got a good idea. Then we brainstorm how to put it together. So it's a special organization, man, that we have, and going into the communities and really just showing these kids that there's somebody that look like them, talk like them, and some of the people from the same situations that made it in the league. But until they see it in person, it's a figment of their imagination almost. Like, I can see you on TV, but you still like, you superhuman till you on TV. But when you bring that TV to real life, they're like, oh, okay. Like, dang, this so-and-so, this Aaron Judge in front of us, this Mookie in front of us, this damn CC Spec in front of us. Now you really creating that hope. You know what I'm saying? Creating that inspiration to really do something, because now they see it. And so we got some dope stuff going on, man. We working. We got an uphill battle. It ain't nothing that's gonna change overnight, but we definitely moving in the right direction with the work we doing.
Yeah, I see. See, for us in the Bay Area, we had CC. You know, he was our star. You know, he came from straight out of Vallejo. That's actually the next city over from where I'm at. So, you know, we was able to at least see that. And him and his wife, very big in the community. You know, they do a lot of work out here in Vallejo and in the Bay Area as well, too. So, like, that was us, but that's only like one location throughout the United States. And I've seen a lot of names in that organization. So, like, Chris Young, he played with Oakland for a little bit. Jamal Weeks early on. CC never played with us, but every time he came, he was, you know, big crowd always came with him, his family. I went to school with a couple of his cousins and things like that. I can't remember all the names, but I've seen a lot of names on there. I was just like, dang, I had conversations with most of these guys, either as a visitor or they played with Oakland, just because they were black. You know, just straight up, just you're black. I don't see very many of y'all, or us, excuse me, in the league. Like Cam Maven, we definitely crossed paths a few times, especially on that World Series team. I can't remember the year. I think it was like 14 or something like that when he was with Houston. Like me and him would always like kid back and forth, because he was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna catch you. He was talking about our locks. It's like, I'm gonna catch you. Like, you got a long time to catch me. You know, I was like mid chest at that time. But he's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna catch you. And then he got traded to Miami. All of a sudden, come back, he visit. I'm like, bro, what happened? So he got into. I'm not gonna necessarily tell the story or whatever, but he got into politics of baseball and things like that. So
he had to cut his lines.
Yeah. So we talked about that. I was like, yeah, that's messed up, And the same thing, kind of, the New York, the Yankees, that side of it. Just the grooming standards out there. So it's like things that the average, just I guess, fan of baseball wouldn't necessarily know what's going on behind the scenes and why certain things in politics, but it's like it affects us, as Black people, especially like hairstyles. I don't want to get too much into it. I don't want to get nobody in trouble or whatever, but it's just things like that. Like it just, when I hear stuff, I'm like, damn, like really? It's hair. What's that got to do with your talent?
I hear you.
Yeah.
I hear you. Yeah. I hear you. And it really don't. It's a hairstyle.
Yeah.
Instead of, and it's a hairstyle don't make or break how you play, man. I had been on team before. Somebody asked me from high up, how long you gonna keep your hair growing? Like shit, too. I'm tired of growing.
Right.
Like you ain't asking so how long they gonna grow their hair.
Right.
Just because it's locks and silky. You ain't asking them how long they gonna grow their hair. Why you asking me how long I'm gonna grow my hair? But really, I mean, like you said, you got certain organizations like the Yankees that's been like that forever. But
right.
I mean, I don't know. I don't see how your hair make or break how you play.
Well,
I mean, as long as you can put stuff together and you can look the part to go play.
Yeah. I mean, there's been other guys from other races that have had very long hair in baseball on those same organizations. Yeah. And that was one of my main questions.
Yeah. Gorgeous.
Right. Gorgeous. The gorgeous gold locks.
That's why I say, man, like you said, it's a lot of different things that we go through and we deal with the game as a Black player. That a lot of people, they hear, but they won't understand it. But like I said, that's all the stuff that we're trying to change now, man. We're trying to recreate the narrative and get the game back to how it used to be.
Right.
You had 4 or 5 Black teammates. Yeah. Per team. I mean, 8 teams started off the year with no Black players.
Yeah. That's that's actually what I was going to get into next. Like,
yeah, how that happened.
Right.
That should never happen. You know, so this is all the stuff that we're dealing with, man. And like you said, we're trying to recreate the narrative for the game and create the opportunity for our Black players to come up and do something.
Right. So it's like my thing, I was reading a statistic the other day, well, a couple months back, where now we're 6% in the MLB. Like, it's one of the lowest. I think the stat said it was lowest since, Jackie Robinson, 47. So it's like, how do you think that we can like bridge those gaps with those numbers and make them at least suitable? I mean, 6% is extremely low.
Yeah, I mean, 6%. You're talking about that may be an average of 1 person per team.
Yeah, if that.
What it may come out to, man. Man, that's what we're figuring out now, man. I don't think it's one particular answer for the whole equation. I think it's multiple different things. We got Blacks playing. We lose a lot of Blacks to other sports. It's just keeping our kids in the game, developing our kids, let them really get skilled for the game and creating a space where it's equal opportunity. Mm-hmm. So it's going to take multiple facets of different parts of different things to combine them together for a perfect storm. But I think the narrative, a lot that Blacks don't like baseball, and that ain't true.
That ain't true at all.
I know a lot of people, they watch the TV and everybody look like a Black American, but it's not. You have your Black Latinos, you have mixed with the Black Americans, and right now a lot of people see the Black Latinos and they look like they're Black Americans. That's not the case. I mean, if you don't know, you don't know. You watch the game, you see somebody like, oh, okay, he's from the States.
Look at the last name, and then you'll find out.
Yeah. So I think a lot of just getting our kids to equal opportunities, man, and creating situations where they get in the same privileges as some of the other people that's playing the game and the same opportunities.
Yeah. So how do you feel about like the new changes in baseball, like the pitch clock? I personally love it. Speeds the game up. But what about you? What you think?
I don't know, man. I tried to pitch clock one time when I was in AAA. That was in 2019. I experienced the pitch clock, and I didn't really worry about it. I mean,
yeah,
it didn't. I couldn't tell if it sped the game up. I didn't look into it that much. I know a lot of people say it's speeding the game up. It's curious when I ask people about it. Some like it, some don't. Pitcher wise. I don't know about the position players. They may like it, but some of the pitchers I talk to, a lot of them don't like it. They say it's messing with the routine. They got to speed up. For me, I only had to deal with it a little bit. I never really had to deal with it in the league. So it's hard to say how I would like it if I'm pitching in the league. But
maybe as a fan of the
I think it's mixed opinions on it.
Yeah. Well, maybe what about you as a fan of the game now, watching it? How do you feel about that? Like, you play the position, so now as a fan watching it, how do you feel about it making move forward for the game?
I don't know if the pitch clock bothered me because I ain't got to deal with it. It ain't too much in the game that I let bother me because I ain't got to deal with the shit. Like, I'm at home. Like, my opinion is an opinion, but I ain't got to play in it.
Right.
So it's like, it's how it's affecting me. It's the same for me. Like, I ain't got to play in it. I'm sitting at home. I can watch TV. I can play with the kids, watch a game on TV. So it don't really affect me. As far as time-wise, if it make it slower or faster as a fan, it's still about the same. I mean, you go to a game 2.5, 3 hours.
Yeah.
Now, if you're having a 4-hour games like they used to be, it can get long. But
hell no.
Can't stand them. You know what I'm saying? I remember some little 3.5-hour games being at least pitching matchups and everything. But I don't know. It's interesting to see. I'm gonna watch how it finishes playing out. But I mean, you got, like I said, I think it's just gonna be one of the things where it's gonna be super opinionated the whole time. So people gonna like it some.
What about the extra innings rule where they put a runner on second base right away?
Oh, they did that in the minor leagues too. I got experience on that part. I don't know about. That part, I like, man, let's just play.
Yeah,
let's just play. If we're going extra innings, let's just go extra innings. But then again, my ass at home.
Right.
It affected me none.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? My opinion is my opinion. It doesn't affect nothing in my day.
Right.
You know, so I say, hey, I'll just sit back and watch.
Right. No, I get that. So I guess maybe this question is going to be, I think I know the answer to this question. So if you had the opportunity presented itself to coach in the majors, would you?
Nah. If I was going to coach, I would have kept playing. Not right now. I mean, you coaching, you gone.
Yeah.
You gone just as much as the team. You still gone. You know what I'm saying? You still gone. You're doing twice as much work.
Yeah.
I wouldn't coach. Probably not. Nah.
Okay. Yeah.
Nah. You're gone too much, man.
Right. So since you retired, is there any like business ventures that you might have got into? Maybe, well, you talk about the Players Alliance, that a little bit of business, but any other business ventures?
Man, we started a venture capital with athletes as the GPs with LaFair Capital.
Mm-hmm.
So that's been dope. It's been interesting. It's kind of the transition from the sports world to the business world. It's been a lot of learning, but it's been a challenge and it's been fun at the same time. And so right now, I'm leading like franchising and dealerships. Dealership. We have an electric EV company that we work with, that I'm with, called Vanderhall. And it's like little toys, but little fun cars, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's almost like I guess it's considered still like a motorcycle, but it's in a car. It's in a car fashion, car body. The chassis is still like a car. But so that's been fun, man. We got them on the market. It's a company out in the headquarters is out in Salt Lake.
Okay.
And Vanderhall's there've been some cool little cars that they coming out with, vehicles that they coming out with on the electric side. And then been franchising, man. We got a couple stores about to open up here. So, sometime this year, probably start up, have like two or three locations open. It's a franchise that we're working with right now. It's called Raining Berries, with Dave Shaw and myself as co-owners of LaFair. Kind of like, we also working with Steve Gardner. He's been a long time in franchising. Adrian Muhammad kind of came up with this idea to put this together, man. So it's been dope to create ownership for athletes, to establish ownership for athletes and have a transition ready for them once the game in. Because it's one thing for sure, nobody going to play forever. For sure. And you don't want to stop making money.
Right.
So with this, there's this acai, gelato, affogato, and smoothies. Bimmel Johnny, he's the CEO and owner of Raining Berries. So they out in Florida right now. So we're about to get these spread it out now, throughout the country. Working with a couple other franchises too, and man, we're just trying to help people expand and help create generational wealth within our organization as well. Not organization, within our company, within our VC.
Yeah.
And trying to help create some generational wealth for people, man.
Right. So we were talking last week. A week and a half. You were out in Cooperstown. What were you doing out there? Was it?
We had the East-West. We had the East-West game. That was fine. Old school game. Replica of the Negro Leagues All-Star.
Okay,
so gotcha. Out there. Yeah.
Okay. So after 17 years, looking back, was there any accomplishment that you wish you would have accomplished, maybe personal or team-wise, or how do you feel about their 17 years?
The one thing I always wanted to do, I always wanted to be a 20-game winner. I used to had a couple years where had things been a little different on the offensive side, I probably could have done it. But that used to always be an accomplishment I want to be of mine, man, of being a black ace. Being a black ace, I never got it, but I used to chase that one. Let's see if I can get 20 games.
Yeah,
20 games. Never got it. Got it, a lot of other stuff, but I had fun trying it.
Yeah,
I had fun shooting for it.
Yeah, no, you had a lot of accomplishments, accolades, definitely in the career. I mean, shoot, MLB record, 14 teams. You think that's ever going to get touched?
Yeah. Man, if Rich Hill, just depend on what Rich Hill do. I know Rich Hill got 13. He got 13 teams. So if Rich Hill come back, then I don't have to come out of retirement just to get another team.
Keep that one last.
But that's record. What I say, man. All those cities I played in, man, I've definitely been able to take something from every city and have fun with it, man. That's why I said I got to live in a lot of different places. So I've definitely been blessed to put on all them jerseys.
Right. Well, yeah, man. Shit, that's pretty much all I got for you right now, man. Like I told you before, man. I really appreciate you coming and talking. But it's for us, it's really for the culture, because for us being black and then in a sport that we like baseball, we don't get a chance to see or talk to anybody of color in the sport. So I definitely this was very important for me. I really wanted, people to see this side of it, actually talk to someone who's been through it, had it lasted, in the MLB for a while. Cause, there's some players, I have friends myself that, played, but they only made the majors, was in there for 3 seasons, got sent back down, and that was it. You had a long career in the major. So it's definitely want to give people a chance to hear, our side of the story, because it's not many of us out there.
Not many of us, man. I want to tell everybody, if you don't know what's going on with Players Alliance, go check it out on IG at playersalliance.com, or if you want to send an emails, playersalliance.org. Check out what we got going on in the community, man. It might be some events close to people that they want to come out and come support. We welcome that as well. it's 501c3. Anybody feel like they want to help, we welcome donations. But more so just to see what we got going on in the community, man, and check out everything. And, you know, it may be some teams that may need some help. We have links in there for grants. We have links in there for resources where people want to know what we have going on. So it's definitely informative and letting everybody, keeping everybody up to what we got.
Right. Where can the people find you?
Man, if y'all want to find me, I'm on Instagram at ejack36. And I want to say I'm on Twitter too at EJ36. But you can check out the Instagram, check out the X now. It ain't even Twitter no more. See, I'm sure my hey, we on X now. It's just X.
Yeah.
But y'all can come check me out, man. Follow me. I'll follow back.
Okay. Well, shit, that's wrapping up for me. Episode 3 of Gridlock, man. Signing out.
Yes, sir. Already.
All right.